What is up, from today we're showcasing my favorite team from Season 9, Trevenant, Shadow Skuntank and Vigoroth. I created multiple videos of this team in Season 9. It was the first team that got me above 3500 rating as well, and it still works wonders in Season 10. And it's so much fun to run. I really do enjoy running this team. Trevenant is just an amazing Pokemon, of course. I mean, I think it's number 3 on Poke rankings for a good reason, and Shadow Skuntank just an amazing pairing with it, covers for most of its main weaknesses. And the reason I'm running Shadow Skuntank over any other Dark Poison, by the way, is Flamethrower, because it would have really hurt the Stunfisk right there, or in this case we actually got a shield, which is also quite nice. But if you don't have a Shadow Skuntank, which I feel like a lot of people don't, see in the comments, definitely Drapion or Alola Muck could also work. Drapion I would recommend running with Poison Sting, Crunch or Sludge Bomb, and Alola Muck with Acid Spray, Poison Jab as the fast move, and then Dark Pulse as the second charge move. I think that would work fine too. However, if you do have a Shadow Skuntank, that is what I would recommend. Then Vigoroth, of course, still an amazing safe/sacrificial switch in this team. And overall, I don't think it's the strongest team. On paper, it's not the strongest team. But this Pokemon have a certain type of synergy that just makes it work. It really does make it work. Anyway, this first game, we run into the most meta team out there, basically. Azumarill, Stunfisk, and Trevenant. You see this team a lot in different orders. Sometimes it's Trevenant in lead, sometimes it's Stunfisk in lead. This time it was Azumarill in the lead. And all three of those variants you can beat with this squad. It's not always easy. In this case, with Azumarill lead, it is quite easy. If it's Stunfisk lead, it's really easy. If it's Trevenant Mirror lead, it's a little harder, but still very doable, actually. This game we end up winning with our Vigoroth versus Stunfisk. GG's. Skarmory Lead is one of the hardest leads to deal with. Trevenant can win this matchup in the one shield scenario, straight Shadow Ball. However, normally I like throwing the Shadow Ball as soon as possible, but I lagged one turn at the start, which doesn't make me able to do that, and now I have to shield before they shield, which I really hate. Normally when I throw the Shadow Ball immediately, they no-shield it. They don't want to spend the shield first, but I've already spent the shield, showing that I want to use my Trevenant as my Skarmory answer, which I think kind of, well, allows them to safely shield as well, which they're gonna do here for the second time as well. That's fine with me though. I just call in Vigoroth and we'll just start farming. We will start farming. They go for a Sky Attack, and I was planning to farm this down. I want to shoot once, farm this all the way down. We get a little bit of typical lag. Luckily, I think it's mutual, so it doesn't really matter. It's still very annoying, of course, but I don't think it will change the outcome of the game. Anyway, in comes Marshtomp. It stands still there again, but they weren't the move yet, so it doesn't really matter. This game is just broken. We go for the Body Slam again. It dies. In comes Skarm. They have the move. It's fine. I will let this go. This point, I'm expecting Swampert in the back. Double Mud Boy. I need energy and shields on my Skuntank to beat that thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna farm this. I know their timer is not up. They cannot switch. So that was a pretty nice farm down without them being able to switch out. Kill him right before the move. We get to the Crunch versus this Swampert, and now we just need to reach another Crunch before they get to the next Hydro. Shield this up, and I think they're still like 2 or 3 away from the move, meaning that I'll get to the Crunch, and it's game over. Skuntank had 0 positive matchups there, but still put in a lot of work. And once this charge move hits, it will be game over. Altaria Lead is another very difficult one. Usually what's in that pack is not amazing for my team, because it could be like a fighter, and fighters in the back for me are not good. However, this is not terrible, because I can get to the Shadow Ball here. I usually just let this Sky Attack go, and I'll end up farming it down with Shadow Skuntank. That is usually my plan. I could shoot that move up as well and then try to force another shield off of them, but usually you end up going a shield down, which I do not like with Shadow Skuntank and Vigoroth. They don't do that well when shields are down. Like I said, fighter in the back there is the Machamp. I'm gonna go throw a Crunch onto this thing. This will hurt if they no shield it. Also no drop, which is unfortunate, but can't always expect to get the drop. I'm really hoping they no-shield the next one, because, well, my Vigoroth would be in trouble. Would be in big trouble. if they no or if they shield this up. They don't shield it, which is really good for me. They bring in a Victory Bell. I let my Skuntank go down. Now we just need to get to 2 Body Slams with a Vigoroth. But look at this weird animation. They got 6 Razor Leaves in, while I got 5 counters. And somehow they also CMP tied with me. I don't know what just happened. I really don't know what just happened. We should be able to reach another Body Slam. This will kill the Victory Bell. And I think the Machamp is still alive at enough HP where 1 counter kills, which means we'll likely have a simultaneous KO. GG. Another Altaria Lead. Again, not great, but possible. We're just gonna play it the same way. We're just gonna Shadow Ball, let the Sky Attack go. But you're gonna see, this Altaria actually plays it a little different, a little better actually. They're gonna end up over farming more than the previous Altaria did. Which means I get less, well, I get more Shadow Claws in. But Shadow Claws do less than Poison Jabs. And because of that, they're actually gonna reach the Sky Attack, right? Just barely, but a little stutter there. Again, the game is freaking broken. I don't know what's happening with all the animations. It's just weird. I feel like this one was just visual though, so it's all good. In comes Swampert, and this is quite bad. Yeah, this is what you often do see with an Altaria, and well, I don't love to see it. Oh, we'll bring in Vigoroth into the Swampert. In comes Azu. I really would have loved to have another shield right here, but because my opponent played it smartly at the start, I do not. But since I have energy, maybe I'm fine. The Swampert is already quite low. I can probably let this go, and then hopefully let both of the moves go, and maybe farm this thing down with Skuntank. Or maybe I can catch like an Ice Beam on Skuntank and keep my Vigoroth alive. Both are possible. Again, we have some weird animations, but I don't think it really matters. We're gonna go for another Body Slam here. This will hurt the Azu or take a shield. I'm gonna try to catch a move, and we do catch a move. If they run Ice Beam, this is likely Ice Beam. If it's Play Rough, we basically die. It is just an Ice Beam. It's pretty good. Oh, nice. More lag. Yes, really nice. Here comes Swampert. My goodness, these are some bad games. These are some bad games, actually. It must be the rain. Must be the rain. Every time it rains in game, it just lags more. Oh man, we almost kill this thing. Almost kill this thing. I really wish we could turn off like animations. Snow is also quite bad. Oh man, I just top left the recording right there. Yeah, it was game over anyway. Scrafty Lead is also quite bad. I always just switch straight into Vigoroth. My whole team is not amazing versus Scrafty, to be fair. However, they all 3 do have play. I mean, Vigoroth gets to the Body Slams really quickly. It has super effective counters, though it also takes super effective damage back from the counters. Trevenant, of course, takes double resisted from the counters, but the foul play basically one-shots. And Skuntank is really bad versus Scrafty when shields are up, but when shields are down, it can flamethrower it. So all 3 do have play, but it's just not the most amazing Pokemon to face. You know, you should be able to play around it most of the time. Actually gonna end up letting this Skarmory go, which is interesting. I don't get to a Body Slam right here, unfortunately. I think I'm gonna bring in Skuntank right now. Yes, they're gonna get to the pup. Unfortunately, I've been basically denying every single of my fast moves, so I don't get my Poison Jab through, and this time I do, which is nice. They're gonna get to another pup. I think I'm gonna end up throwing 1 Crunch, and these counters are really adding up, so I don't really want to stay in. Another weird animation. Don't really want to stay in here, so I'm just gonna go into Trev, because, well, they're gonna get to the move either way. Against my Skuntank or my Trev, I would have to shoot either way. So rather shoot here, because this is likely a foul play, it's more energy. And then they have Hypno in the back. So this is now looking pretty good. I go for the Seed Bomb right there. And I think this, well, actually, this is actually not a mistake. I was actually thinking this might have been a mistake during the game. But let's say they shielded that, or they no-shielded that. I would just get to another Seed Bomb and then take a shield. Whereas if I Shadow Balled, I'm not sure if I could have gone to double Shadow Ball. So I think this was the right play. And they end up shielding the Seed Bomb, which is really good for me. And now I can just farm this down with Trev and Skuntank. Game over. Drifblim Lead. This is an interesting lead. They get to the Icy Winds before you get to the Shadow Balls. But if you end up baiting with Seed Bomb, you can actually win the 1s and 2 shield scenario here. So that's what I'm gonna do. A lot of the time I do end up going straight Shadow Ball, but I like going for the Seed Bomb too, because I do end up shooting. And I'm gonna do something stupid here, I think. I should have just gone Shadow Ball. But I end up going Seed Bomb, hoping they shield again. but they don't. And now I'm kind of screwed. I would have to use another shield, but that's not worth it because I'm double debuffed, so my Trevenant is basically useless. So instead, I'm just gonna farm this thing down with Drifblim. Or Skuntank, I mean. I'm gonna farm the Drifblim down with Skuntank. It goes Umbreon. This is not too bad. I really wish I had Vigoroth on this thing though, and not Skuntank. So I will end up switching in a second, try to catch a last resort, but they end up throwing more Snarls than I was expecting. That's okay. They bring an Azu here, and man, if I would have just taken switch or thrown a Shadow Ball, I would have had my Skuntank versus the Azu and the Vigoroth versus the Umbreon, so that would have been really, really nice. Now I'm stuck in this Azu matchup with my Vigo, and this is not amazing. However, Vigoroth can get a lot of damage in here, and I'll be able to farm this thing down with Skuntank as well, so it's not all bad. It's really not all bad. Just gonna throw another Body Slam right here onto this bunny, and just to put him into the red, I think, yes, this is good range for farm down. I was hoping to farm up to another Body Slam and then switch to Skuntank, but instead, I don't get there in the Ice Beam, and it's fine. I just farm it down. However, they end up switching into Umbreon before. I do shield this up. If they have Last Resort, they're gonna throw it right here. They never bait that. That's so risky. But they do end up throwing Foul Play. And well, at this point, I'm still kind of scared that they just baited me and they still have Last Resort, and they're gonna be able to get the 2 Last Resorts right here, and I die. However, they end up throwing another Foul Play. So they're probably a Psychic Umbreon, right? It's probably a Psychic Umbreon. So that's good news for me. Gonna get to my crunch, and this should be game over. The Azu doesn't reach another Ice Beam, and I farm him down. Good game. Nidoqueen Lead is not one I really like. A lot of the time, these are very manageable though, because a lot of the time it's double dark in the back. And well, Vigoroth and Skuntank do quite good versus most of the dark types. However, if it's not double dark in the back, it's usually some trouble. What I do here is always no shield the first one, then I get to 2 Seed Bombs. They're gonna have to shield one of them if they want switch, and the second one will bring them very, very low. Very, very low. I bring in Skuntank to catch the Poison Fang right here. It won't do that much. We'll do less than it will do versus Vigoroth, so that's why I do that. And what do they bring in now? What do they bring in? It is a Medicham. And this is really quite bad. Yes, Nidoqueen Medicham combination is not one you usually see, fortunately, because it's just really bad versus like a Sableye, for example, so that's why it's not that common, and well, it really sucks for this line, unfortunately. I don't think I reached another crunch, so I'm just gonna switch out. I was debuffed, that is why, but this is not looking too good. I bring my Vigoroth into Medicham, and they're gonna end up shielding. Oh, actually don't shield. And it's a Swampert, which is even crazier. They basically have 3 Skuntank answers, kinda, so it's not great. I'm gonna end up being able to fire 1 Body Slam right here. If I can shield up, we're able to get to another one. Is that worth it? Actually, I don't. Oh, I do shield this up. Throwing this Body Slam is pretty worthless because I'm not gonna get to the crunch like ever. But since I already threw it, I might as well do it. You know, we CMP tied. I'm hoping to get a catch right there, but my timer was not up, unfortunately. I die here. If I can kill this Swampert in 5 Poison Jabs, I win the game, but we're not able to, and I quit the game. Jeez. Bastiodon is a pretty decent lead. I'm very glad to see that my Skuntank can avoid this thing. However, a lot of the time with Bastiodon, it's Sableye, Medicham in the back, which is not a great backline for this team. Since Medicham can beat both Skuntank and Vigoroth and Sableye, even though Vigoroth and Skuntank generally do beat Sableye, it's not a great matchup. It has play against both, so the combination of Medicham and Sableye definitely beats my backline. Especially if this Bastiodon keeps sneaking in smackdowns, that is not great. But we do end up taking it out, just barely. They switch in Sableye, and what I do is I want to save my Trevenant, because again, I'm expecting this line, Sableye Medicham. So I bring my Skuntank versus Sableye, even though it's my best answer. So I'm expecting them to switch in their Medi, and they did. And this is now looking pretty good. I mean, I have a Trevenant left with some energy, and I can burn another shield or a bunch of health with my Skuntank. So this is not looking too bad. I think they end up shooting this. They do. And now, since they already showed Pup, I think, I can let this go because I survive and I will get to the Shadow Ball right after. Yes, get to the Shadow Ball. That's game over, Medicham, and I have a Shield and a Vigoroth left over for the Sableye. And it should be game over. This should be game over, right? And they know and they can see GG. Another Bastiodon Lead. This is not great for me again. Last game was pretty difficult to win. So let's see what happens here, especially if the same line. I cannot guarantee a win there, but we're just going to play it the same way. Throw Shadow Ball on appropriate timing. Gonna shield this, move up. I always want to burn one shield there, never want to burn two, I think. If they're gonna go 2 shields down themselves, I don't want to join in on that for sure. Gonna throw another Shadow Ball. Honestly, I think for me, them shielding is probably best case scenario, because I get to another ball. And this almost knocks them out. If they no shield this, that's really good. Yeah, that does knock them out. What do they bring in? It's a Victory Bell. Alright, is this Grass Hole? That would not be awesome, because these Razor Leafs do still really hurt my Skuntank. They don't... Oh, they do get to a move. I will shield it up. I think this ends up being an Acid Spray, which is not very fun for me. It's a Crumble. Look at this. Look at these charms. Look at these charms. I just throw one Crunch to get the shield, and I go into Vigoroth right here and should be able to get to the Body Slam to finish off this game, pretty much. Because this definitely kills. This is the fast move pressure team for my opponent, but luckily not enough to beat my team. GG. Oh, that was the final battle as well, by the way. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, hope you enjoyed this team. Definitely want to recommend one of my favorites to run at the moment. So go give it a go. Again, if you don't have Skuntank, go with Drapion. Go with Muk. If you don't have Vigoroth, go with a different team. Vigoroth, don't think it's replaceable. So anyway. Good luck with your battles, trainers, and see you in the next one.